ones, they say, when I ask where does the food comes from, they say Woolworths, Coles, supermarkets, sometimes even refrigerator. So the significance of soil that it holds in people's life is missing. So if soil health is not good, not just your physical health, not just your food, it will also affect your mental health because the food that you eat comes from soil. And if the nutrition in the soil is not so good, the food that you eat won't have enough nutrients to supply. When you keep the soil in not so good condition, especially when you let the soil open, there are like carbons present in soil in a big number. And when you plug it, they the bad soil, it releases that carbon in the atmosphere, which is not good. And just the other way around, if you keep the soil healthy, if you plant trees, if you increase the green cover, the the carbon that are present in the atmosphere, the good soil that's
Welcome to a very exciting episode of Bebeyondblissful. Today we have a very enthusiastic, inspiring youngster with us. His name is Sahil Jha, and he is cycling across the globe to raise the awareness for Safe Soil movement, which was started by Sadhguru. Um, I wouldn't seal any of it. I just want to deep dive straight into it. And I want to say that please watch this episode till the end because it's going to be very, very interesting. And you will get to know why Sahin is doing what he's doing. He's been bike riding across the globe, which is not easy, of course. So, Sahil, thank you so much for coming to my show. I am so pleased that you came to Melbourne and I am getting to do this with you. Sake Soil movement, it has always been very close to my heart because like research बताती है कि soil में इतनी ताकत ही नहीं है कि हमारी bodies को sustain कर सके. So last few years I've been through my own health journey because I was having a lot of gut issues and hand issues, not feeling so energetic. तब मुझे पता चला कि there is a soil health and nobody is talking about it. And all because in 2020, mein Sadhguru started this movement, which I think is a revolutionary movement. So, first of all, welcome. And I am very happy to hear from you and very excited as well. So, please take it away.
have any questions?
Talk about yourself first, like why you wanted to do this and how you were introduced to Isha and why Sake Soil, like out of everything and cycling across the globe, why is it so close to you? But first of all, tell us about yourself, where you are from and, how did you hear about Isha? Just you'd like to know that.
So when I was 16, I wanted to become an international cricketer, like about 50 million shade how many needed us. So I started to play cricket professionally, and then COVID came. I was locked in my room, and I got this habit of reading books. And I started with everything: philosophy, fiction, autobiographies, science, novels, literature, anything and everything. And then on one fine day, I found a book called by Death by Sadhguru, and I thought, what? How can we write on death? Because how do we know what's going to happen? So Sadhguru wrote about it, uh, and then I like read that book, and it intrigued me so much that I had questions about does ghosts exist or not, and what will happen after I am going to die. All those questions. So it was pretty much there in that book. And then I got to know about Sadhguru from that place. And then I read a couple of his more books, uh, almost every YouTube video. And I was very inspired by Sadhguru at that time, that what he is doing, his overall activities, and at the age that he is. And more than that, when at one of his live streams, he announced that he'll be riding his motorbike at the age of 65, all the way from Europe to India to raise awareness about soil. Now, this was something that I had no clue that soil is something that is going to get extinct, or how can it go extinct because it is everywhere? How can it go away? So then I researched about it, and couple of metrics that I found amazed me so much that I thought, okay, I should also support Sadhguru in what he is doing. And I thought of writing a motorbike, but I was just 16 years old, so I would not have bought a license. So I had two other options. One is to do it on a bicycle, and other to do it walking with the message. Walking could have been pretty rough. I would not have returned home in many decades, maybe not in one single piece. So I thought, okay, I'll ride a bicycle. So it's not a cyclist area. I just used to cycle from my home to school and back to home. So on one fine day, I thought, okay, I'll do this on a bicycle. And then I made my clients, spoke to a couple of my friends, uh, but none of them really showed up on the day when I was about to start. I didn't tell my parents that I'm going to start this journey. It was something like a secret mission, as I termed it. And on the day I left my home, I called my parents and that saying that I'll be out of home for the next 15 months. So it was like a shock for them, and they tried every method to so that I can come back home, but that didn't work. It took me a couple of weeks, almost a month, to convince them finally that I'm will listen. And there I started the entire like of this journey, cycled across 15,000 kilometers across 15 states in India. It took me about 15 months in total.
Wow. So you did that in 15 minutes. And that inspired you to go across again. Now, few things, Sahil. How about the logistics of it? You didn't think about anything that you'd need support, financial support, and whatnot. You didn't think any of it. And before that, also, I want to know, were you following Sadhguru? Can you read the death book? Were you already practice? Like, were you already doing your sadhana? I am a meditator.
No, I was just a normal guy, just more. It was more like seeing Sadhguru on YouTube, not the sadhana part of it.
But you were inspired by him before you read the death book.
In a big way.
So, have you done your inner engineering?
I have done my inner engineering after that, when I was in the journey. So when I started, after I think a couple of months later, I did my inner engineering on the way in India.
On the way.
Yeah.
Wow, that's nice. Have you met Sadhguru?
Yeah.
A couple of times. And what did he say to you?
Well, I think every time that I met him, he told me to eat more and more food and build more muscles. And the last time I met before flying to Australia, he told me to do 100 push-ups every single day.
How many push-ups?
100.
100 push-ups. Are you doing it?
I'm on the way. I haven't touched the number 100, but on the way.
Amazing. I am 100% sure you're going to be very successful in this mission. You had Sabru's grace and blessings with you, as I am a follower and I'm a true believer, and I know he's already there. I'm sure you would have felt his presence along the way. By now, I don't have to say that. So, how about your parents? How did you convince them?
I didn't. As I said, like when I started, I called this a secret mission that I'm going on. I just took my permission. I didn't took my parents' permission. And because I took my permission, I gave myself a yes and I started. And after I left my home, I called them that, look, boss, I'll be out for the next 15 months.
Are they proud of you now?
They say so.
You say so. So they're happy. They're not like
Yeah.
not happy with it. They are happy.
They say.
Happy with the decision now. Amazing. That's always good to know, because I think somewhere you need to have your parents' blessings with you as well. Because that works as a grace. So good. So tell me, when did you start this particular around the door cushion? And explain me the logistics part of it, because I am obviously older, and at your age, I think, yeah, I wouldn't have thought of it, because we are so passionate about life that we think we can do everything and nothing can go wrong, and sometimes you do, get to the hurdles and you feel, oh my God, this is a roadblock I never thought about. So tell me about your journey so far.
I've started. So after I completed my Indian leg of the journey, I went back to my home, stayed there for some time. Then went to ashram. Then again, I went to cities like Bangalore. I stayed there for some time. And then I again came to ashram. I did sadhana pada, and while doing sadhana pada, this thought came in me that why should not I do this on an international level this time? Because doing anything else, say a business or a job or this or that, would not have made much meaning and purpose for me. So I thought like it has to be something which is about people. There are lots of problems that are to be addressed. And so I hear something that's on a very bigger scale and it's mostly overlooked. So I thought like I should take this up this time, even though I was not at all interested in bicycling and going around the world on that. But I thought, okay, I should take this as a medium to reach more people, touch their hearts, and speak to them about soil, the significance of it, and the role it plays in their life. So that was the idea, and I started this from Dunderburg in Queensland, Australia, on 21st of March this year, 2025. And from there, I came all the way to Brisbane, Sydney, Canberra, now just to Melbourne. And I'm cycling all the way to Adelaide. From there, I'll be going towards Perth, then towards Indonesia, Singapore, Malaysia, and most countries in Europe, then United Kingdom and the United States. So it will take roughly about 15 months in total to complete the journey, 20,000 kilometers of pedaling the bicycle, and 20 countries in total and 4 continents. It's just something like when I was planning the route on the world map, the countries, especially like Europe and Australia, it was looking like, just like the tiny island on the map. But when you're actually bicycling it from one end to the another, it is not.
No. Definitely not. But tell me about the logistics, like the finance part of it. How do you think you were going to support yourself along the way?
So when I was doing this in India, I started with exactly 500 rupees. And my mathematics was that I will be using 500 rupees for 15 months across India. And I was fortunate enough to not to think about that in more detailed way, that how am I actually going to do it. If I would have thought, I would have never started, because there was absolutely no one was supporting me in the starting. So I thought, okay, I don't know how, but I'm going to do it. I didn't told my parents that they could finance a part of it. So that was not the case. So I started with that. People got to know the significance of it. Why is it so important for their life? And why is it so important that we should reach more and more people? So when they started to know, and I'd say like if you love people, if you take care of people, they will take care of you as well. So
Of course.
and so that way I did it in India. And now this time on a global level, there are many people from across Tokyo who are supporting me. I have a GoFundMe page, so it's a crowdfunding platform.
So you do have a GoFundMe page, and we can put the link of it in the description of this podcast. So whoever wants to support Sahil, please feel free to do it, because you should go and do your research on it, that soil is depleting. And yeah, you can't see it, it's everywhere. As Sahil said, it is everywhere. But I have felt the ill health effects of what the poor soil conditions are doing to us. And you can see it in your children, and we talk about it all the time. We just say it in layman's language, oh, the food is not that much of significance these days. Everybody is eating multivitamins, yes, but this can be worse, and we are at the very edge of it. Sadhguru talks about it, and kudos to Sayo that he's doing this and raising awareness across the group. So, Sahil, you said you started your journey on 21st of March this year. Have you met any officials along the way? Any significant personalities that you think, that yes, I've made an impact that I wanted to?
So May, so when I started, I flew to Australia. The Australian High Commissioner to India, he tweeted in support of the movement, and the many dignitaries along the way, many leaders from the arena of media, especially of some political leaders like MP of states and on a federal level, I think. Apart from that, diplomats from US Embassy, French Embassy, and there was a former patron of soil science, but former, she is actually the former Australian High Commissioner to India. She was the former governor of Queensland State in Australia, and now she is also the patron of Science Australia. So, Honorable Penny Wensley AC. So she is the patron of soil science. So she is one of the like very influential people in Australia relevant to soil. So there are many people who supported, who tweeted, their organizations tweeted, many news, media, radio, especially all the major channels like ABC, Channel 7, Channel 9, and all of them has already covered. So it has been quite a big impact. And talking about social media impact has touched roughly about 1.5 million people in the first 30 days of starting their journey. So it was quite impactful.
Amazing. And I saw that you've been to some schools and you've spoken about this issue as well.
Almost every day that I go, we have some engagement. Usually at school, it could be college or university, or some community events that is happening, or some forum related to agriculture. And in every major city that we go, like Melbourne or Sydney or Brisbane, we host an event, and we invite many people from that region to attend. And so it's that we do it. Apart from that, meet interviews and podcasts, radios. So yeah,
Amazing. So you're happy so far the way it's going.
I'm always happy even if it doesn't go good.
I'm sure it's making an impact. I'm 100% sure because the more we talk about it, the more, people are getting aware and we just need to make the awareness go right now. Tell me about your cycling journey process, Australia. Australia does have a lot of wild animals.
Oh yeah.
Once. And by cycling by yourself, like, aren't you scared? It gets dark when you're still cycling. How do you feel?
I don't usually cycle in during night time, but when I was about to come to Australia, when I was doing my research, many people told me that be careful. Kangaroo can jump on your bicycle. They come in groups and they can attack you. They will jump over you. They may be friendly, but because they are in big size, it may hurt. And there will be lots of snakes. They may come on you. There will be lots of spiders. There will be lots of wild animals. So be careful. It is so. There are many lots of wild animals, insects, everything, but usually they don't bother so much.
Have you
And
encountered any?
many, especially kangaroos. I saw a snake one time.
Oh, really?
Many koalas. Yeah.
Koalas are nice and
Yeah.
sweet. So koalas, I think it's a treat if you see
I
them.
mean, in terms of wildlife and the kind of landscape and the diversity in nature, especially Australia has, it's too incredible to see. So while you're cycling up hills, it is very hard to cycle, but these are the things, these are your paycheck that you see, you experience, and which is something that's just amazing. And it takes away your pain and in one way. So it has been just an amazing experience.
So none of it has scared you. You're just
They usually fine.
they used define and you're happy cycling around them. So kangaroos, have you just gone through, like gone past them, or have you seen them in herds?
I've gone past and I've seen them in herds as well. I saw them very close like this.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like this.
Yes, yes. I didn't touch them, but yeah. But yeah, they don't really bother.
Above all, I think Sadhguru's grace is the blue certainly. So you're going to be fine. I am very, very certain about it. And tell me about staying in different places. So how does it all work? Like I'm just trying to understand. So you start cycling and you set up a goal, okay, I'm going to travel this far. Is anyone waiting for you at that point? Or you've just already booked an accommodation, you just go and stay there? And because Australia is quite vast, it's very vast, and it's not like India that it's crowded. You see people every few kilometers. No, it can get really just you can find yourself in a aloof, deserted place where there's no one. Sometimes no cars also.
So I have a team of roughly about more than 100 people who are arranging so many things in terms of research, in terms of where I can stay, the engagement opportunities that we can have, the people whom we can meet, schools and universities where we can talk to, the reader engagements, everything. So it's pretty much everything is organized as anything. And wherever I go, there people already know, if sometimes even weeks and months before that I'm coming there. So they're already organizing many things for they can in the capacity. So we go there, and apart from that, if there are no people, I usually stay at an hotel. So, but not so many times, but still I do. And yeah, so it's pretty organized, and people know we have been doing working for the Australian leg of the journey since almost 6-7 months now, but even before coming here.
So it's all planned and
Yeah,
organized.
yeah. So from here, I'll be going to Europe, I'll be going to US, I'll be going to other Asian countries. So everywhere, everyone there, they already know, and they already started to work in terms of organizing and reaching out to people, the engagement opportunities that we can have. So to create the maximum level of impact that is required.
So say you start here from Melbourne. Okay, you're not starting tomorrow, but I'm just saying, for example, you start tomorrow and you're heading towards Adelaide. So how many kilometers did you travel before you rest?
Uh, every single day, roughly about 50 to 70 kilometers, sometimes even 80 or yeah.
So you will stop after doing 70, 80 kilometers, and then that's when you take a day break, and then you start next morning.
Yes. And not just that. So, if I go to a place, I go and speak at some places. If there's some event that's already happening, we request for some time where we can speak. That is something really important. We go there, then other interviews and people from media, sometimes they are expecting us, or some radios on phone calls. So yeah, we do that. Apart from that, cycling, and then so it's a mix of many things.
So, do you have any events that you can share right now? Because by the time we put this out, I think maybe by 16th of May, because I know there's an event coming in Melbourne on 16th of May, and you're going to be there. It's going to be a big one, house full. But after that, in Adelaide, in Perth, do you have any events
Yes.
already planned that you can tell people right now? So whoever is going to listen to it, tune into it, they can probably keep an eye for it.
I don't have the dates right now, but we have the events planned for Adelaide and Perth as well. And we can share the details closer to the date, and it would be available in my social media.
Amazing. And how can we support you? How can people who are listening to the podcast, youngsters, even if not youngsters, whoever's listening to you, how can they support you?
Well, speak about soil, speak about soil, speak about soil. Because the very reason I'm doing this, I'm not at all interested in cycling. That is the last thing that I would like to do in my life. Because I enjoy cycling, but only for maybe 10-15 kilometers a day. After that, the real cycling starts. So the very reason that I'm doing this is to make people aware the significance the soil holds in their life. Because when I speak with children, particularly younger ones, they say, when I ask where does your food comes from, they say Woolworths, Coles, supermarkets, sometimes even refrigerator. So the significance of soil that it holds in people's life is missing. They overlook the problem that soil is going to have in the next few years. It is expected that we are about to use almost 90% of our world's agricultural soil just in the next 25 years, based on the import from the UNCCD. And we're expected to produce 40% case food for the population that we have in the next 25 years. So, more population,
Yes.
the less food, and the soil is gone, which means we cannot grow food anymore. And even if we can, it won't have enough nutrients. What I mean by that is, if you ate one orange 100 years ago, what you got from it in terms of nutrients, for the same now, you have to eat 8 oranges.
Oh.
So 100 years ago, one orange, and now 8 oranges. They have the same level of nutrients. So the level of nutrition depletion in soil, it's immense, but people are not realizing it. This is one single reason why more and more young people are not so immune to diseases and viruses. Their physically fitness, they may look very good from outside, but from inside, particularly on mental health level, is not so good.
I was coming to mental health. So I'm grateful that you mentioned that. I don't think people understand that it's not just the fragility of the body. It's not just that, you are not strong in your body enough. When my journey started with my mental health, I was struggling mentally too much because of few instances in my life, and I had hit the rock bottom. It was like do or die for me. That's when I came across Sadhguru, because before that I was actually closed to anything. I was like, I don't want to follow anybody. No, is the guru that I want, or nobody, because obviously there's too much corruption out there. I just didn't trust anybody. But then when I came across Sadhguru, with her practices and everything, and nearby, I'm pretty sure I saw this documentary that how soil is depleting. Some documentary I saw, and yet nobody talks about it. And that particular documentary raised put me in a position where I could go and research that my mental health is due to my gut bacteria not being the right. So because I'm not eating the right foods, or even if I'm eating the right foods, which I was eating very healthy, it didn't have enough nutrients in it. So you are right. And I was going other way around. Oh, I have to, I was just trying to work on my thoughts. I was just trying to work on my, as people say, read good books, do self-help books, and go for walks, physical activity, this, that. And you'll be fine mentoring. But it's not that. It's the combination of everything. And soil is a major part of it. Your food plays a major role in it, what you're eating.
Definitely. What we eat, what we dress, where we live, everything, almost 95% of what we consume comes directly from or indirectly from soil. So, if soil health is not good, not just your physical health, not just your food, it will also affect your mental health, because the food that you eat comes from soil. And if the nutrition in the soil is not so good, the food that you eat won't have enough nutrients to supply nutrients to your mental health, or I'm sorry, the like your brains or your like everyday nutrition that you require to carry physical process,
The hormones and everything.
anything and everything. So soil is something that's so important, and people don't understand the relation between it. There are like trillions of microbes present in the soil, and because of excessive use of chemical fertilizers, chemicals may be needed to feed the global population that we have, but excessive use of it and not putting the land under some sort of shade, these microbes, they just die. And when they die, soil dies. And the food that it grows does not have enough nutrition. And when you eat that kind of food, it doesn't fill you. It may fill your stomach, but the nutrients that you require on a daily basis is just not there in the food. As I said, one orange and eat orange. It's just the case.
Yes.
So
Yeah, and I think people don't talk about it, or most of the industries are not talking about it just yet. Probably because, pharmaceuticals is all over it. They're trying to promote pharmaceuticals, and monetary and financial gains play a big role in it. Um, Doctors talk about having multivitamins, they talk about having this vitamin, that vitamin. So you are just eating pills all day. By you can fix all of it by just eating the right food if the nutrients in the soil is right. And they are not talking about it just yet. They're just talking about, oh, it's in your DNA, it's in your genes, so you're bound to get diabetes, you're bound to get thyroid because it runs in the family. Yes, it may run in the family, but as far as I have researched, I think all of it can be reversed, and it can be stopped. Actually, it can stop, the generational diseases that you've been carrying can be stopped through you if you're eating the right food and following the right lifestyle, as per se. But because of the soil depletion, we are bound to think that, oh no, it runs in my family, so I have to have it. We don't have to have it. If there are nutrients, and people who do eat organic food, there are a lot of it. I think fortunately we do in Australia, we do have a lot of people who eat food from their backyard. We do a lot of composting here as well, which was unheard of when I was in India. And I think more and more we are urbanizing ourselves. Like in big cities, nobody has time to put the compost, or have a compost at home, make your own compost and things like that. That's lead me to the greenhouse emissions as well. So tell the viewers about that. Soil is not just about food, your mental health, but it's also about the pollution, the global warming. People don't know about this, that soil health affects the global warming.
well, one of the biggest contributors to global warming is soil. When you keep the soil in not so good condition, especially when you let the soil open, there are like carbons present in soil in a big number. And when you plug it, the bad soil, it releases that carbon in the atmosphere, which is not good. And just the other way around, if you keep the soil healthy, if you plant trees, if you increase the green cover, the carbon that are present in the atmosphere, the good soil that's like it takes the carbon from the atmosphere and keeps it in the soil, which is good to grow plants and give nutrition to the plants. The carbon emissions, that's not a wrong thing. It's just in the wrong place. It should not be in the atmosphere. It should be in the soil, which is not the case right now. So if we increase the green cover, let's say, if we turn towards regenerative methods of build agriculture, we can take a big chunk of these carbon uh, from the atmosphere to the soil, and we can solve global warming in a very big way.
So what you're saying is the industries, the cars and everything is not just the only contributor to the global warming, it's the soil health as well.
Soil wind is one of the biggest contributors to global warming, more than cars and all the emissions and all that.
Wow. So that's contributing more towards the global warming than, so even if we fix all the
Almost on a similar level, I don't know the percentage, but it's one of the biggest.
it is. So that means it plays a significant level. So even if we were to fix all these emissions and if we were all of us to drive electric cars, we are still going to see the effects of global warming because they hadn't fixed the soil. Wow. So I think the message over here is that we need to talk about it. Our policies should be such because it's not in it's not in our control what policies the government follow. But how can the farmers listening to this podcast how can they contribute towards this?
See, there is no point of talking to farmers, soil, and politicians much about soil. And it is control in like people like everyday people like us. Because when we say governments, we are the government. The person who is leading us is one among us. And he will only raise issues and fix issues only what we speak about. So let's say we want good roads or we want housing prices to come down. So all these are the only issues that he is going to address. So only if we speak and raise this issue that soil health should be one of the top priorities, there is no way there won't be any solution. So only if we speak can there be solution. Talking about farmers, they know the problem, they know the solution, they know how to fix it, most of them. The only thing they're lacking is resources. Only if we can provide them the resources through incentives, through businesses, through corporations, policy incentives, if they're doing right kind of agriculture, which increases the organic content in the soil. Only if we do that, only if the local everyday people like you and me raise this issue, make this a priority, speak on social media, make this a everyday conversation with people we meet, our friends, family, neighbor, make this a hot topic across the globe. And it should be the priority. Only if that happens, can a political leader take this up and fix it. So what they are going to fix will only depend upon what we raise the issue per. It can be soil, it can be anything, which is our priority. So if we speak about soil, if we speak about soil, we can write a letter to our leaders, email. We have formed a website called savesoil.org, and we put the option where you can just select your country and even state, and your leader's name will be there, email addresses and postal addresses will be there, and a draft email is also there if you don't want to type it yourself. And even just send it, it will take less than 10 seconds to do it. It is as simple as that. And with more numbers of emails, with more tweets about soil, if it increases on social media and it is at the same level for a certain period of time, it keeps increasing, there is no way there won't be any impactful solution for the same.
I agree.
But the solution lies only if we understand it should be of priority and only if we speak about it.
I totally agree. Everybody at one stage was talking about, the pollution, and everybody at one stage was talking about the plastics. So the policies were made that, we want to eliminate the plastic, and we see paper disposables or, paper plates, paper spoons and everything in use these days, and more so over here. And same as with the cars, somebody came up with the idea of electric cars because they thought, there's so much pollution and we only have a limited resource with the petrol. Before that, nobody was talking, nobody cared about it. But only when we all spoke, we this was a hot topic. So we started coming up to the solution. So I think we should all talk to our kids about it. My daughter, she's quite inspired. I must say, she's supposed to do a project in the school for science, and she said she wants to do the project on soil because she's really inspired. And when I told her that the soil is depleting, both my kids were like, how can soil deplete? The same thing as you said. So talk to your kids, talk to the younger generation. And if you are in a position to, go talk to a crowd, if you are some kind of a leader, then definitely talk about it. And if you're in a position where you have your say in policies, then definitely you should talk about it. Is that right? So when are you concluding this journey?
It will take me 15 months in total. So hopefully around May next year. So it's a long journey.
And when do you leave Australia?
Less than a month from now.
There's a Melbourne now. Amazing. And you leave Melbourne on 16th of May and you're reaching straight to Adelaide when?
It will take me, I'll reach there hopefully around last week of May.
Mm, that's nice. Anything that you want to share? Anything that you want to say?
Speak about soil. We have a website, seasoil.org. Visit the website, learn about it so that you will be able to speak about it in a more detailed way. We have an option, write to a letter to your leaders. So use that option. And you can even follow me on social media, Soil Sahil Jha, SOIL SAHILJHA, and keep yourself updated with the journey and let me help me to create a big impact across the globe.
You can also fund Sahil on his GoFundMe page, which we will put the link to it in the description, which will help him with the financial part of it, which of course you can understand, going across the globe is not going to be easy, and he is doing it for a greater cause. So definitely support him as much as you can. Talk about soil for sure. Talk about soil as much as you can everywhere, in schools, universities, everywhere. Thank you so much, Sahil. It's been a pleasure to have you and talking to you. I'm really inspired. And I hope our audience is inspired as well, that, it's not just about one single call soil, but I think the step that Sahil has taken, it's a huge step. It inspires anyone to do things that are bigger than themselves. And you don't have to think too much to start. Sahil only had 500 rupees, which is very less. It's like $10 he had in his pocket when he started. And he didn't think about the logistics of it. He just got the support along the way. So, is that the message?
Let's make it happen. Say soil.
Thank you. Thank you.